housing debt back to record levels as banks dish out more to investors. Official attempts to stem the tide of investor housing loans have failed, with latest figures showing bank exposure to the sector was back at its highest level since a mid-2015 peak. Australian Bureau of Statistics' original housing finance data to November found banks had investment housing loans outstanding to the tune of $536 billion, one of its highest levels ever, while across all lenders the figure was $544 billion. The 2015 peak, which came 6 months after the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority demanded that banks crack down on investor loans for housing, was a record $540 billion for banks alone, July 2015. It teetered around the peak the month before, $538 billion June 2015, and after, $537 billion August 2015. TD Securities Chief Asia-Pacific macro strategist Annette Beecher said, while the number of home loans to owner-occupiers rose by 0.4% month in November, 2.6% annually, of greater interest was the rise in investor finance given concerns about renewed strength in this sector. Lending for investment rose by another 4.9% month and roaring ahead, she said, while other segments such as first home buyers were dead in the water, unchanged at 13.8% of owner-occupiers. The figures were a salve for the Housing Industry Association though, with HIA chief economist Dr. Harley Dale calling it a tick in the box for the Australian economy. The new home lending cycle has peaked, but the November results confirm that the elevated volumes of lending we have seen over the last 3.5 years remained in play as 2016 neared an end. He said compared with 12 months ago, the number of loans for construction and purchase of new homes rose in 5 out of 8 states and territories in November. The fastest annual growth occurred in Tasmania, 28.4%, followed by Queensland, 20.0%, South Australia, 11.0%, New South Wales, 9.9%, and Victoria, 9.6%. New housing loans fell in Northern Territory, -57.9%, the ACT, -23.3%, and Western Australia, -9.5%. The popular concern continued to be increased housing supply. CP Economics chief economist Callum Pickering tweeted that investors continued to prefer buying established property, 92.5%, rather than increasing the housing supply, 7.5%.